What is up? What is going on, everybody? What is up out there in HVAC land? Everybody tuning in right now. We're doing it a little bit early. I actually have the game on next to me. There's the NBA Finals, Game 7. Pretty, well, we'll see who wins that one. But what is up, everybody? If you didn't know, well, actually, today's live stream is presented by FASTSTAT. If you guys didn't know that is a wiring extender. If you guys just cannot run any new thermostat wire, check out FASTSTAT. They offer many different, let me switch over real quick. They offer many different solutions. So they have a common maker, they have stuff for heat pumps if you guys need multiple stages, things like that. Make sure you go check out FASTSTAT for all your wiring thermostat needs. I can't tell you how many calls I've done where this would have been very helpful because I do commercial trying to rip out, that stuff behind the walls, the wires and everything. And, you got broken wires. You got wires that short out together and they only give you so many wires. Nobody ever runs like the 7 wires or anything like that where I can just steal another one. And this can help you in a pinch. If you guys didn't know, check them out. Thank you, FASTSTAT, for sponsoring the live stream. And we are going to be doing more training videos. I did do that thermostat video. Some people liked it. So I'm going to do troubleshooting, low voltage troubleshooting next. And then we're going to get into some real use cases for the FASTSTAT product. And then I want to do, or I already have the next one lined up. And we're going to get into brazing and, things like that. I can't tell you how much, I can't tell you how much it irks me when I see some of the guys brazing out there. And, I was going to bring this up on nights, but like it was Hall's HVAC, I believe. He dropped a video, straight up boogers on the, filter dryer. Can imagine, because he mentioned that it looked toasted. I can imagine, the amount of heat that they applied to it. And probably, if that's how they braise, they're probably toasting TXVs, all their valves, all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna get into like some brazing techniques, best practices, and things like that. So yeah, like Brian says, when I get to braise, it's a good day. It's like I mean, it's a skill. It's an art to me. I always want to make sure, and it's something my dad would always notice. He's like, "You always want it to look perfect." I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, to an extent, I want it to look good, but I want it to wrap all the way around. I want to smooth it out, and I want to make sure that there's coverage." I used to worry more about the looks, where it was just like a quick little wraparound. Now I'm like, don't be afraid to put a little extra solder on there. Maybe do it twice over and make sure it's covered, that you can see that it's covered, right? So, I've learned. I've had leaks before. It happens, and from learning from that is where I'm like, okay, maybe use a little bit extra. Don't be afraid to lay it on there. But I also get after the guys if they use like a whole damn rod on a couple of joints, right? Don't do that. You're wasting it at that point. It's not cheap either, the solder. So yeah, you want a neutral flame. Using orange rods for everything. I've heard that, and maybe I'll pick some up. I don't think I've ever had to use them, and I've gotten so used to 15%, so I just stick with it. I do have like aluminum rods. I like the ones that have the flux inside of them. And I did, I think I have some right now. I was cleaning out the van. I think I had like the dissimilar metal ones. So I wanted to try those out. I just haven't I haven't had anything recently. Usually with the metals, we deal with stainless steel, copper, aluminum, and you got to kind of join them together. So, there's that too. So I'm going to get into the basics just to help out people that need that kind of information, real world application, not like, you know, like the step by steps that are just do this, do that, and then you're good. I'll actually show it with different ways to do it, basically. So we'll get into that. Master of none. What is up, man? Prep work. See, that's the whole thing. I don't know if anybody here does any pressing, because everybody's like, oh, it's like extra prep work, this and that. It's like kind of the same prep that you should be doing when you solder, right? Cleaning it, sand it down, clean it, deburr it, all that kind of stuff. It's the same thing for pressing. It's just you need to make sure that the depth, you have enough of the copper line to crimp. Other than that, I feel like it's the same. Like you should be prepping, you should be cleaning. You don't want that nasty old copper, um, any of that to burn off inside the system. I mean, it'll probably work, but you don't want that. Oh, that's right. Yeah, so the orange rods work great with copper to copper, um, unless you don't have a tight fit because it gets liquid and runs. That's probably the one that I've heard about because no, the other one is I think the silver one. Man, Stay Bright 8 is I've seen a lot of guys use that one. I did buy a roll. I don't know where it is. I was gonna try it out. I just never did. And that one's the same thing. If it's not a tight fit, if there's too much of a gap, it won't work. So that's why I like the 15%. I can patch holes. If the pipe doesn't match up correctly, you can still make it work. So, it is what it is. Let's see. Yeah, if you ever have issues where it's like it won't take like the solder won't either flow or wrap around properly, any issues with that kind of stuff, and you're getting frustrated, it's probably because you didn't prep it properly. Again, you can get away with it because, you know, I always say that it more so in the past than right now, like HVAC is forgiving. Like a lot of guys can attempt it and do pretty well. But yeah, if you do it properly, you don't have as many issues, you don't have callbacks, you don't have all this, all these problems. And again, learning from experience, because when I started, it was very frustrating, wanting to be better quicker, and you just kept, making mistakes, screwing up and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you got to learn to be more efficient and take the extra few seconds to clean something. Like the piping will save you in the long run because then it goes smoother. You don't have any hiccups, anything like that. And then same thing afterwards, like clean up a little bit, right? Like when as you're working, clean up. After you're done, make sure you clean up. Use those extra zip ties and all that kind of stuff. And then that goes a long way. You build good habits. And that's really what it is at the end of the day is your habits. Bad habits is you want to get in and out. You want to, you know, not care about the way your work looks, any of that stuff. Which again, Hall's HVAC, he has a video out on YouTube showing what a horrible job somebody did on the brazing, and those people don't care about their work. They just want to get out of there. And if you take the extra time to really do it properly or care, I mean that I've mentioned this to a few people. The sad part is just a little bit of effort, just caring a little bit can get you far ahead of other technicians, because that is the there is a unfortunately that's what it is. Like I said, a little bit of effort, a little bit of caring about your work. That's what can make a good, good or great technician. And it's unfortunate because there's so many out here that give us a bad name, don't care about it. And I mean, don't even get me started on the sales people that are out there. So, it's yeah, that's exactly who I pictured. DIY loves that. I, I feel the same way. I don't know if he watches my stuff anymore. We used to talk and, talk about the he's explained to me, obviously, I think I just checked. He's like at 300 some thousand subscribers. Obviously, he was able to make a living off of YouTube. You can't blame him for what he's done. Now, do I like all the content? Not really. And he was in the business of HVAC and like handyman work, and that stuff did really well for him. So, so I can't blame him. He was worried about going too deep into it, but money talks. So what can you do? He might be on his way to 1 million subscribers at some point, and it's doesn't matter to him. But he was a nice guy. Just I shark bites. He wanted to do the podcast when I had started, and I wasn't taking guests at that point. It's when I was doing like this kind of a live stream, and I was like, I don't know, man. And then I offered him a spot once I was taking guests, and that's when he blew up, and he pushed it off a little bit, and I didn't hear back from him. So hope he's doing good. It's it's uh it's all good on my end. I don't mind. I don't like the misinformation. That's always an uphill battle. Is yes, somebody can do their own HVAC, they can do their own electrical work. They can do their own anything if they own a house or anything like that. So you can. I'm the first one to do DIY, like on my cars, on little projects in the garage, stuff like that. But up to a certain point, and then you got to call somebody, a plumber, electrician, to kind of get you past the DIY part. You can't do everything, so it is a little what do you call it? Annoying seeing him. Hey, you can do your own condenser. Hey, you can do your own indoor unit. You can do this. I would much rather a professional go out and do that kind of work. Change out your capacitor. Okay, be careful. I just zapped myself by accident with a small capacitor. It doesn't feel good. I mean, you got to be careful. What is up, HVAC guy? Kurt? Pumping out videos like crazy over there. I know Jake just put one out on the hose hauler. I kind of want to get one now. He wouldn't like doing the podcast. He would get eaten alive. There's a couple that I get asked, like this today. This is just like a Q&A, open discussion. I don't really have topics. I take whatever you guys give me in the chat to talk about, and I save all my work discussions or hot topics for HVAC nights. If you guys want to go check out HVAC nights with HVAC guy, cooling with Kraus on Thursday evening. But today's just whatever comes up. I've had a few people that want to come on the show, and I'm very tempted to have them come on and make a fool of themselves. But I've heard they don't take to that kindly. Some of these salespeople, and believe me, they've all asked to be on my show. I don't think my show is like, it's nothing like Gil's. It's nothing even like Brett's. Like those are the big shows, right? Mine is still in its infancy, and I appreciate everybody that watches. I got banned. You got banned from his channel. You were out there telling him what, or correcting him, I guess. So yeah, here's the thing. Like, I appreciate everybody that watches like any of the stuff that I do. The podcast, every now and then I do get really good feedback where it helps somebody and it motivates them. So that's why I'm going to keep doing it. And I love hearing people's like real stories. So, I mean, anyone from like Josh Dent, I'm trying to get some of those other big ones from Instagram to come on. Everybody's just so busy right now, so it's really hard. Him, WWHVAC, Casey, C650. Refrigeration Man was a fun one too, even though he was cooking when we were doing our podcast. Yeah, Brian, I'm trying to figure it out. Because I just have so many people that want to come on. And I'm really bad about scheduling, so 3 more hours of on call from Mike out there getting it done. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to get some of the guys back on. Oh, Matt, if you're on Facebook, I'm on YouTube as well. These are the YouTube comments. Oh, that's Rhodes. We're on YouTube, man. Come over. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to figure it out because I everybody that I've had on, there's a bunch that I want to return, especially if you got some updates and stuff like that, or just like discussions, right? So yeah, there's been like those sales guys. A lot of them, most of them have hit me up. There you are, man. They've hit me up. I've considered it, but just like Jason said, they would get eaten alive. I would much rather have like or I would much rather, if they came on, I would probably ask them the questions that I really want to ask, and it wouldn't go well for them. And I hear that they will, from people that have dealt with them, that they would sue for um, defamation. So I don't want to get into that. So just told them kindly I'm not interested, and let them go on someone else's podcast. Oh, that sucks, Jason. I'm dealing with some dental stuff too. It's really annoying waiting for them to call me back so I can go back in and hopefully be done with it. It sucks. Hope you feel better, bro. Anybody want to give uh suggestions on Goodman? People will probably tell you just don't buy them. Uh Leaks at the fitting. I think that's usually how they go. We have a Goodman in our house. It's already on its third coil under warranty. So we'll see if this one lasts. If you can, at the fitting, I'm assuming you're gonna have to cut it out and make a whole new pipe there. I don't do a lot of residential, so if anybody else has this, anybody else has the same issue, let them know. On For me, it's like the root and ream units. They leak, I think, on the same point. If it's a copper to aluminum, that's where they always leak on these microchannels on RTUs. The only thing you can do is depending, because I had one that was cracked on the aluminum side for sure, and I'm not sure if it was leaking at the fitting too. Yeah, aluminum to copper. Um, so I was trying to repair the aluminum side, and I had trouble with it. And somebody told me to use like that putty, the wet rag, or every brand has one, the hot block, and repair one side at a time, and use the hot block to keep the other from. Because when you go to the copper side and fix that side, it's too hot. The aluminum will start melting. So I've had a couple. I've not had a successful call on one yet. The last one I had, I was trying to get them to get a new coil, turned into a nightmare, and I didn't go back. Somebody else did it. And before that, I attempted it, and somebody gave me that tip about using the hot block. So yeah, it depends on what side it's on too. If it's aluminum, I think you can get it pretty easy. Uh, a, the Owl 822, that might be the one that I have, and use map gas. You cannot use oxyacetylene or anything too hot. No turbo torch. You would need to use map gas. I'm probably gonna need to salvage a coil that we change out. I need to see if we have any that are aluminum, so I can keep the coil and kind of practice on it, because we don't get a lot of those around here. So I haven't done too many aluminum. I think I've done like a handful of aluminum repairs, and like Jason says, as long as you clean it, prep it really good, and use a low temp torch. I use I haven't tried, well, I have tried it, but I haven't really used the solder weld version, because theirs requires a flux. I don't know if it's that one, the Lucas, right? Man, what is that brand? Let's see. I think it's this one. Does this one need the flux? Well, yeah, of course, Jason would know. He's already fixed a few or a bunch of them. Because I use Lucas solder rods as well. No way. Oh shit, I have it up. Um, damn it, I was going for indie. Uh, damn it. I use the one that has the flux core. I don't know. I don't know if it's that one. Dude, did Halliburton really? Jesus, didn't he have like a, was it his calf or hamstring like a couple games ago? Okay, here's the trick. It has the flux in it, but you still dip it in the flux. There you go. Yeah, so was I. I wanted Indiana to win that one. Damn it. I have the game pulled up. I just wasn't looking at it. And then when you said that, I looked, and everybody's like trying to get him pick him up and huddle around him. Ah, who was the other guy? That just happened to another player. Was it Tatum? Everybody has been tearing their Achilles lately. That sucks. Had a train here at the house leaking evaporator year one, but after 8 years, it's kind of good. I'm hoping with ours, third time's a charm, right? Oh, somebody had asked, can you show repairs on commercial cooking products? Maybe eventually. So I've been running calls like crazy and I'm trying because you'll hear me say this a lot. We just hired people. So there's some younger guys that came in doing fantastic. So we've been kind of relieved a little bit from all the calls being on like just a couple of us. Now it's we're seeing the effects of the guys helping out and all that. So I actually was doing some cooking some we're working on some ovens and I think steamers the other day. And they actually are learning that too. They were working on the steamer as well on Friday. So I didn't record anything, but we changed out some gas valves, cleaned out the burners. Oh, here's a replay. I didn't get to see, but he was driving to the basket. Oh yeah, shit. Yeah, he tore that. I see the calf now. Um, so we did some things here and there, and I was trying to pick up a few tips from my dad. Uh, I did I think I did record like a couple seconds of it, and I think eventually we'll get into more of that kind of stuff. Just because that's our business, and going forward, I'm trying to be more involved and be more of like the overseeing everything. Damn, dude, that kid had a good season, and it happened in the first damn quarter. So yeah, I'm trying to oversee everything, get into everything, be everywhere that I can, and maybe eventually we'll get to that kind of stuff. And it would actually be helpful because our guys know that I do. Well, my dad was like, "Go watch his videos to learn," and they're looking on YouTube to learn more. I told them make sure you watch Craig Migliaccio, AC Service Tech. Definitely check out Ty Brenneman if you haven't yet. Love to HVAC. And obviously HVAC school. They watched a lot of their videos. So if anything, if I can make some videos, even if it's just me learning it, and it's my dad and our senior tech kind of training, maybe training on the job and stuff like that, it might be beneficial to even to our guys to see it if they need to recall something or go back to it. Ooh, once you get into that, man, that's the money maker. They always keep us busy with the hot side. Like if ever the weather's weird and we don't have work for HVAC, like if it rains out, or what do you call it? Like the cold fronts come in and all that. Hot food is always in demand, and we have one guy, one of our senior techs, that does not only refrigeration and hot food. Um, at some point, he learned commercial washer and dryers. So we have hotels that we take care of strictly because he can do that. We let him do that at those locations and all that. So I don't need him to be the best or perfect at everything, but obviously, like Mike said, you expand your horizons, your skill set, you're worth a lot more to your company. And I'm very happy with the guys that we have right now. The new guys look like they're trying to pick it up quickly and the right way. They understand not to build bad habits or anything like that. So it's looking good. Damn it, OKC's got this in the bag now. Restaurant restaurant repairs. Yes. Forgot his name. I watched him too, and I'm trying to get some of those guys on the podcast eventually. That reminds me, I have them on my list. One trick pony. Hillmore or Navac for a hydraulic swage tool. Hydraulic. I have not used the Navac one, but here, let me put it to you this way. Did I have it? Oh, I did have it. I do have the Navac one. I picked Navac when I was purchasing them because Navac, as far as I know, I mean, I looked around, I looked into the manual, literature, all that. It doesn't require, I don't know if it's a good or bad thing. It didn't require any maintenance or any changing fluid or anything like that. The Hillmore one recommended that you change it every so often. Not a big deal, right? So that was just like one of the little reasons that I bought a Navac one. Now, Hillmore is a sponsor, or Diversitech is a sponsor, but hydraulic, I will recommend Navac, and they have the battery powered stuff like locked down as well because I have all their battery powered stuff. But I tried their, I had the hydraulic swage tool. It worked great. The only thing is, like, I think with any of them, you expand the tube, release it, turn it a little bit, and expand it again. If you start seeing any issues where it's like the copper splitting, try using some oil. But I use it's like a Subco one. It's a refrigeration oil. I don't know if it has another name for it, but I just buy the Subco one. It's like a little dropper, and you can lubricate it just in case so it doesn't crack. Because I know my brother was using it. I never had. I don't know. Maybe I did it slower or something, but he would do it, or I would ask him to go make a coupling or something, and then he would get upset because it would crack. So, so like I like the Navac one. The only reason I would maybe suggest it is because they came down during what do you call that? It was like a day where all these companies came down and it was held at Insco. They did something. They had food and everything. A vendor day, whatever they called, and they let me try out their tools there. Now Hillmore, I love Hillmore. I love the way it looks. A lot of their stuff works. Like if you get a Hillmore, you can't go wrong either. I think those are two that I can recommend, Hillmore and Navac. And Hillmore tends to be very affordable and it's high quality. But they let me try their tubing bender, and Hillmore's locks up when I do like 7/8 or anything like that. So I never looked forward to bending. Is he? Oh, never looked forward to bending anything over like half inch. Like, it would always get jammed, it would always get stuck, and you have to knock it out. The Navac one, and then like bending it to a certain point, it would get tougher and tougher. The Navac one never did. So their tube bender is great. I had their swage tool, it was great too, and now I have all the battery powered stuff, so I don't have to deal with it, getting older. But you can't go wrong with either one. I think Navac has a slight edge on that kind of on those kinds of tools. Tommy has the Navac one. I think it works well. That's the one that I had for a long time. Once I got the battery powered one, I never went back. It's just too easy now. a CPS. That I think, but I believe that's a multicolored one. That one is a good. I've heard is good too. Flaring, yeah. I don't think anybody can touch Navac on flaring tools. I think that's where they kind of made their bread and butter, especially on the battery powered stuff. But on their flare, not too many because I had the old school flaring block. Did it that way forever, and I knew how to use it. Some people get upset about using a flaring block because it never comes out perfect or it cracks. I never had a bad flare come out of that when I would, manually make them. I think it's just like I got used to it. We did it so much in school, but I got tired of doing it. So the Navac flaring tools are very much the best ones out there. Been buying a lot of Subco. Just got the Navac core remover. Is that the new updated all black one? I think I saw somebody use like an all black Navac one. They're starting to make all their tools like blacked out. What's up, fellow Texan? How's it going, man? Yes, Joe Sharp. He reached out. I would love to have him on the show. He was just busy at the time, and then we had AHR, so I haven't gotten back to him or circled back to it. I'm pretty yeah, it was Sharp. Yellow Jacket, that new fancy one that they got going, or that came out recently. Is that? I don't know if I saw him or somebody else. The problem is it's a two in one, but because it's a two in one, it's much bigger to get in tight spots. So I mean, it's cool and all if you do mini splits, but even then those I had a hard time. I did like I've only done like two mini splits, and they do not give you much room. It's always hitting the floor and stuff, like the ports or the valves or anything. So it's always it's not easy the way they organ or the way they run their lines and valves. So I know I've seen that where people complain that it's too big. I personally, you can buy Appion. I know everybody loves Appion. Got so much crap for the videos that I've done about Appion. Um, but I have the field piece. They're not my favorite. I still need to leak test them to make sure because I've seen people have leaks with them. But I still have the field piece just because you can swap out the fitting and go from quarter to 5/16, whatever you need to. So I'll use that for my mini splits. Except Texas. Everybody has Texas weather right now. I'm in the same boat. Um, I didn't like the Navac ones, so I gave those away because I had tried to, or I got them. They had a promotion. You buy one of I think I bought the battery. I think the tube expander, because I think I already had the flare. I bought the Navac's battery powered tube expander, and you got a free manifold with it. Didn't like it. I mean, I'm not a big fan of their design. So I gave it to the guys, the guys coming in. And I also gave them the ones that we got at the AHR not at the AHR, at the tactical awards, cuz I didn't want the fake digital ones. So I'm in the same boat. I wanted to get a new analog set just to have as a backup, and field piece. The last thing they told me, because it was supposed to be out by May, like April, May, and they had to rebrand it. Is what I rebrand? Yeah, that's what he told me. Rebrand. I'm assuming maybe redesign something, and then they were gonna push them out. I just haven't heard an update. That was like a month ago that I heard that. He said that it was coming. It's just they had to change a few things for the field piece analog gauges, which I would buy in a heartbeat. They were supposed to be 100 and some, like 130. Pretty reasonable. I have a ton of hoses, so I don't need the hoses, but seemed like it was a good price, and I'll pick them up as soon as they, yeah, as soon as they come out, as soon as they drop. Oh, that is my preference. I have a an Imperial set that I like, but I think it's a 4-port. Yellow Jacket has like some good 3 hose manifolds. So like I've had the old school one, the brass one, and there was another one that was like super compact. It was one of the Titan ones. I can't remember which one it was, but that one I've always wanted. I just never had a reason to buy it, and it's more expensive. I believe because I don't remember if it's a 4. It's probably a 3-port. Stubby gauges for the win. You know, we're doing, so I was asking, we had a meeting with the guys. We're trying to, like I said, we're trying to grow, get new guys in, train them up. Um, really trying to take my dad to take a step back, trying to get the senior tech. I would love him to just step back as well. We don't need the older guys, you know, running around doing everything. Let the younger guys help out more. But I was asking like guys what they needed, because I'm usually the one that supplies, you know, the tools. They don't know. I'm always tool shopping. I'm always looking at things. A lot of the guys, you know, they just use what they got. And I'm like, what do you guys need? We are seeing more R290. And I was like, do you guys want, because they do make hoses, a manifold for R290. I was like, do you guys need that? Because one of our older guys, um, I was like, do you guys need that? Because he was like, I don't know what he used to charge the last one, but he had an R290 system, and when I charged one up, I just used a stubby hose with a ball valve on it, and then with a food scale. I barely got an actual R290 scale, and I was like, "What do you guys need?" I mean, they sell the really small manifold. It looks like a toy with skinny hoses. I was like, "Do you guys want that for the R290?" Because you know they've seen it more. Like that senior tech has seen them more than I have. I've only worked on maybe 2 of them actually, like having to braze and replace stuff on it. So I don't know. We'll see what they need. I do have the reverse. We Our meeting was basically centered around like A2L stuff. So I was trying to tell them, because our counter guys were scaring them as far as like what they could buy, stuff blowing up, you know, all that kind of stuff. I had to like kind of inform them how that works, what to watch out for, obviously like sensors and stuff like that. And I do have a few reverse adapters already. So I was like, if you guys need them, I have them. Trying to push it off as much as I can. I don't want to work on any of the A2L stuff right now. We'll see how it kind of how the dust settles on that kind of stuff. I was just I think I have a video coming out soon, probably this week, cuz I had to replace all my gaskets, all my hoses, what do you call it? The fittings for the probes, they're all leaking. So I had to change them out. Don't forget to check your hoses, your fittings. Make sure you don't have any leaks on those. Core depressors from Appion. I think I have 4 of them myself. They are basically for my probes, but they have been useful. And I would only trust the Appion ones for vacuums, unless I use something from Yellow Jacket. But for Cormax fittings, I hate those things. So, having a depressor on your hoses helps a lot. So you can actually pull a vacuum with those instead of using the manifold. I try never to use my manifold anymore. This is the shit that I was talking about. I had a counter guy tell me that the Brian, it's exactly what my guy was telling me. Brian says that they had a counter guy tell him that there was propane in A12s. Had to tell him he's full of shit. Pulled up the chemical composition. He doesn't like me anymore. So, oh, man. So I was talking to my dad because we were pulling out permits the other day, and he was talking about having a meeting. We need to start doing that again because we haven't done meetings since we started our business. Like for the first few years, we would always have a meeting to discuss, work and different things coming up. So he's like, we should have a meeting, and because he told me that the same exact thing. One of the counter guys told one of our older techs like the same propane, butane. I don't know what he said. Blowing up crap. Have to worry about this and that. He was telling him also you can't get any of the refrigerant, um, no matter which one it was. So he's like, you need to tell that to, or you need to talk to him. And I was like, all that is bullshit. So yeah, we had a meeting. I told the young guys too. I was like, look, this is what it is. This is what you need to look for. Um, Never to mix or put 410 with R32. We talked to Ty that there is a completely different oil in R32. So I've seen people, and now knowing that through Ty, because I didn't, that's not something I looked up, but he said that it's like a POE oil, but there's something different added to it. And I think it causes like acid or something. So I've actually heard that from people trying to put 410 when they have a leak on R32 and they kill the compressor. Like even if they take out the whole thing and put 410, pull a vacuum, put 410, they've been killing compressors because they're not they're not compatible like that. And it has to do with the oil and the compressor. So I mean, you got to be careful with all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we had the counter guy, and I was like so upset. I was like, why are they doing that? I used to do that too. It's like, why worry about it and just, buy a new set every couple years, few years. So I try to maintain them because I tighten the hell out of them and mess up the hose or mess up the gasket. So just make sure they're good, and you're fine. There you go. POE 32 is 410 and 454, and R32 is POE 46. So it's and I do have a podcast with Dan Foss coming out soon, and they admit, it's a struggle because they're trying to come up with solutions to have like a component, like whether it's a TXV or a compressor, be compatible with like some of the refrigerants, like that, like 410 and 454, I think is what he was talking about. make sure you have the same compressor, that they work for both. Having a multi-refrigerant TXV that can do both. It's just a hassle because everybody's trying to mix and match because of availability. That's a biggest problem. Because I've had parts that they take weeks or months. I know some of you guys have said you've waited, forever for parts sometimes, and it's like, well, at that point, what do I tell the customer? Like, hey, wait 2 or 3 months, or maybe you should just buy new equipment if you need your AC right now or whatever it is. So, man, it's crazy. So you got to deal with it. But that's how you find out, because everybody's trying to mix and match and throw 410 back in it, and it's messing up the compressors because obviously they're not the same oil. Oh yeah, I had to work on a 513A uh small cooler. I threw 134 back in it, got it going. I wasn't gonna buy a whole tank to put in like a pound of that. I talked to Heatcraft. I'm currently talking to them again about doing some informational content, because I'm very interested in how that's gonna work out. Obviously, you can add sensors. They have a kit for the A2Ls and all that, but their condensers are going to be compatible. I think he said with any refrigerant, including A2Ls. So that's going to be interesting. I haven't looked into what exactly what that is, but I need to look back. I had a video. It might have been the JB Probe one, and I had it was Bond or Bone, whatever, Heatcraft, and it listed like 10 different refrigerants that it was good for. I didn't pay attention to, I don't know if it had any A2Ls that were listed there, but yeah, and on refrigeration, it's completely different. You're going to have a ton of refrigerants that it's good for. And I was telling the guy from Danfoss, that's what makes my job so difficult. I can't carry everything anymore. I have a rack that holds 4, and I'm going to carry the 4 most common, unless I know I'm going to work on an older system or something else like 134. Then I'll go grab that from the shop and take it with me. Copeland, yeah, the compressor. So I need to look into it. I didn't ask too many questions on like how it's done, but I did hear about it. And I don't know if I've seen one, and I need to. There's been some new equipment installed. I need to go look at it to see if that is that condenser. I'm not sure. And yeah, 448's a go-to. Copeland has a magnetic bearing compressor as well. Well, I haven't switched. I have a bunch of 404 equipment, and I think we're making the switch very soon to 448, and we'll see how that goes. Before we close it out, I'm gonna get to the last of the actually, hold on. Probably gonna end it here in a minute. Let me just pull up. All right. Let me see. Good budget setup for new techs, gauges, hoses, probes, Company provides vacuum pumps, off-brand gauges, off-brand everything. I don't want to be held back by subpar equipment. I see you later, Jason. We're about to hop off anyway. Um, it depends on what you would consider subpar. So if somebody's asking me strictly on price, Elitech, Hillmore, I think those are in the affordable price range. What would I buy personally? Probably Hillmore or Field Piece, but Field Piece is expensive. What else do I use? Actually, you know what? Navac. If you want decent equipment, um, whether it's gauges, I can't speak for their hoses. The hoses, like a lot of it, I usually always go back to Yellow Jacket. So I guess Yellow Jacket is my first choice as like the ultimate reliable, manifold hoses, all that kind of stuff. Probes, I still don't see probes that outdo Field Piece, so I only carry Field Piece, or those are my main probes. Got all our guys Field Piece probes, that I can't sacrifice there because I did a whole video, and I think Testo would be the only other one, but I think they're probably going to be comparable in price. So probes would be Testo and Field Piece. Navac never got back to me if they fixed their issues with their probes. Still haven't heard anything. As far as manifolds, it'd be Yellow Jacket, and then I would say Hillmore, Navac, Elitech. Elitech is cheap, but it works really well. Just depends if you can stand the bright orange colors. Um, as far as hoses, I would go with Yellow Jacket and Appion. Those are the brands that I would trust. I've had some weird issues with JB, so I'm not even gonna list them here. Other people have said those have messed up too. Field Piece, I need to test my Field Piece branded hoses. Other people have said that they've leaked, so I need to look at mine, make sure they're not leaking. But I tried to only use probes, and like I said, Field Piece, Testo. Those are pretty much the ones that I could recommend. I'd much rather have. Let me see. Takes a little more time to set the superheat. So I love Intelligent. What's up, Kyle? Appreciate it. Yeah, we're doing it early because of the NBA Finals. Even though the guy got hurt, I don't know. We'll see if it's any good. I wanted to watch the end of it. Yeah, there you go. Yellow Jacket for your manifold hoses, and then vacuum is Appion. That's kind of what I've been sticking to as well. I didn't like the JB ones that I got, and like I said, I'm not sure about the Field Piece hoses yet. We strictly install Intelligent. I Brian's like, I wish we did more Intelligent. So after working with the Russell ones, the EcoNet, I would much rather do Intelligent. Like Intelligent, easiest install. I've never had a ton of issues. It's a lot of little nuances as far as like the plugs from the fans coming off. Like I've had callbacks for that on Intelligent, or something weird with the board. But then I've replaced a couple of boards, never had any callbacks, and they've been working fine. Whereas with Russell, I need to call them again because the guy had me change out two motors. I had to he had me change two motors and the board. Motors were working. when I changed them out, because I had issues with them like turning off. But the new one stayed on, but it still wants to stay in low speed. And everything that I know is making them, or it should be calling for high speed. We have already met the temperature. Pressures are good. Superheat's good. We're getting into the 20s. It has a set default of 35 degrees for it to. Yes, they are. I'll mention that too. So it's in the 20s. Once it hits 35, the manual says that high speed kicks on and this and that. We're in the 20s and never wants to kick out a low speed. I have it wired the way it should. Talked to the guy. He said, "Yeah, it's your board, this and that." New board's doing the same thing. So I'm kind of annoyed, and I'm having to bypass the board at least for the fans, so I can get that in high speed. Because if I leave it there, even though someone told me to let it run, I've tried that. I go back, it's iced up. So it's not it's not that. It just not a fan of the Econet. Bad sensors a lot too, and I had the faulty brand new transducer as well. So it's making me miss the Intelligent, but those customers have bought Russell, and I need to get them back on the Intelligent train because, yeah. That stuff is cool, like on paper, but like it's causes so many issues. Oh, Victor, yes, we're going a little early today because of the NBA Finals. I wanted to catch the end of the game, even though I'm not sure because the guy got hurt in the first like minute. But yeah, we'll be back to normal time next week. Heatcraft. Now I did when I first installed them. Um, I had to reach out because I set something wrong. I messed up. I didn't understand the installation manual the way I thought I did. And they answered quickly, and but I think I had to be put in line, or it was a hold or something. The guy ended up texting me like, what's the problem? What's the issue? This and that. I told him what happened. He's like, "Oh, do this. Go to settings, change this, try that, and let me know." I did that. The unit kicked on. I'm like, "Okay, cool. I just set something wrong." But the guy was really nice. He texted me and then we called. He called and just to check in and all that. So Heatcraft, I've only called them a couple times, but yeah, they've been good. Yeah, the relays. I've not enjoyed those relays on any brand, but like I said, the Intelligent. At least when I changed out a couple of them that had the bad boards, like once we changed out the board, I guess they had a bad batch. I have not had any callbacks. They've all been working really good. We even have one that is beat to hell already, and it's super nasty, but it's working fine. Um, I've had a callback on all the Russell ones personally. All right, guys, we've been here for a while now, an hour. I forgot I mentioned these in the beginning, but I appreciate the new channel members that we got. We have a couple, I think. So the YouTube channel members, lost but one, Metal Rage Metal Freak, Vlazer, Mark Harris, Chevy Runner 88, Neil C Vids, Calix, Brian, True Results, HTX, Darwin Hooks, B1062, Mark Morales, D Tolls, and Gary Carnell. Appreciate all the channel members. We'll be doing some more with that pretty soon. Appreciate everybody. I'm gonna go watch the end of the game. It's actually still close. Actually, Indiana's winning, so I'm gonna go see if this is who's gonna take it. I don't know if anybody has any skin in the game. We got Indiana and Oklahoma Thunder. I'm going for Indiana. We'll see if they can pull it out. It'd be pretty embarrassing if the Thunder lose this one, but I'm going to go for Indiana, man. Uh, what I was thinking the channel members. Juan, thanks to your channel and HVAC guy, I have started in the trade. Will finally start my first job tomorrow. That's awesome. Like I said, usually we have this Sunday night live stream to kind of catch up and get ready for the week. I hope you're ready to just hustle, get in there, learn everything you can, and just, pick it up. Always be doing something, always try to learn something, enjoy it, please. I know it can be frustrating. It's hot outside, we all understand that, but take care of yourself. Stay hydrated, stay covered, use an umbrella, use a big hat, long sleeves, whatever you can, and try not to get frustrated. Just if you don't get something after work, go look it up. Plenty of YouTube channels that you can look up, like educational stuff, and learn. So keep learning. I hope you do well. Hope it goes well for you. And good luck on the first job tomorrow. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week at the normal time. And yeah, see you guys.